All right, you guys, this is the windmill. Now we will progress this to weighted and it will be a more slow time under tension once we add weight to it. But this is just a quick introduction to the movement pattern of a windmill. We're going to use it in your hip. Now, one of the things that you want to understand is that your core is going to be nice and tight. This is a total body. It will look really simple, like an inchworm or like a dead bug, but when you do it, you'll be like, oh my goodness. But there are a couple important keys, even when we're speeding this up for hip. One is your legs are going to be just about shoulder width. If you're taller like me, maybe a little bit more out. Or if you have belly, then you're going to want a little bit more out because we are bending down. So just make sure you're comfortable in the bending position, okay? Then you're going to have your toe of the foot that's a little bit backward. We're in a slight staggered stance. Not quite as dramatic as when we do like barbell curls or anything, but a little bit wide and then slightly staggered, so that my back toe is right about as far forward as my front foot's back of the arch or heel. So if I were to put them together, I don't know if you can see that, but they're not quite one full foot apart or in front of each other. And what you're going to do is core is nice and tight. We're going to pack our shoulders in. So what I mean by that is this is when my arms are just up. But when I pack them, I actually squeeze my lats and you can see my shoulders go down in. That's me squeezing those lat muscles, bringing my shoulder blades down. Squeezing the rhomboids and lats, bringing my shoulder blades down. Okay, so that's a packing your shoulder. So you're gonna want it packed in. When we add weight to this, that's gonna be really important. For the hip move, we're gonna do something a little bit different than the standard windmill that we'll build up to in the future. But that is, we're going to actually switch feet position each rep. That's not the norm, but we aren't doing this with weight and we're doing it for time. So whichever foot is forward is the arm that's going to be up. Whichever foot is backwards, the arm is going to be down. Your hands are both facing inward to begin with. As you go down in the windmill though, the hand that's up will twist with your body. The key to this is a hip hinge, okay? So I don't want you bending your knees. I want your knees only to bend because they have to accommodate that you're hip hinging, okay? Just like I always cue in every squat or in a kettlebell swing or anything else, okay? So the first cue is shoulders down and back, core is nice and tight, and our first activation of muscle is the hip hinge. Our arms are right here, shoulders packed in, not up here, but packed in. And you're going to, as far down as you can go. Now, you might not be able to go as far as I'm going to show you. I'm going to show this in slow motion and then I'll show it rapidly. But the goal is to get down to the floor. If you can't get down to the floor, just like you might not be able to squat deep yet, that's fine. The goal is to go as far as you can while keeping form. If you start to lose form, you've gone too far. Come back up and we'll work on those imbalances. So we're right here and you're going to hip hinge, and it's important that you look up to your hand that's above you as well. So you're going to hip hinge. This is the nice slow movement here. And I'm really fighting to keep my shoulder back. My shoulder is going to want to come forward. Instead, my lats and core have to be activated to keep it back. And then to come up out of it, all I'm going to do is reverse that squat, bring my hips back forward and squeeze my bum. So it's just a hip hinge all the way down and then a reverse of that hip hinge all the way up, okay? In the hip move, we're going to then quickly move feet and do the other side, all right? Now you may have one side, this is a really good stretch as well, requires a lot of flexibility, a lot of core, so you may have one side that you can actually go down further than the other simply because of flexibility issues. So I'm not turning, although your body will turn a little bit, it's more hip hinge out, and then as you go down, you can see this is my tight shoulder. Look how bad it wants to go down. I can only go to that depth on this side without needing to come back up. So I'm just going to come back up. And that's where we'll work on those imbalances. Obviously, I need to work on mine. So, and then you'll quickly, so to rapidly do this, you're just here, down, come up, rapidly here, down, come up, rapidly here, down, come up, okay? That will, in a HIIT fashion, really activate your core, even without any weights. And it will be rapidly like that in your HIIT. As you notice, in the HIIT, I didn't go all the way down. I just went to where I could move rapidly while keeping form and come up and switch arms and legs.